hunted them in the fog. This story comes from Lithuania. Comment your country, and I'll make a story from there. When this woman escaped from prison, chaos erupted. In 1995, a woman named Beyonce Hogg, who was once a beauty queen, was sent to a high-security prison in Arkansas for a terrible crime. She was given a life sentence. A year later, in 1996, during the inmates' outdoor time, alarms suddenly went off, and all prisoners were told to return to their cells. But one prisoner was missing, Beyonce Hogg. The authorities issued a statewide alert, calling her a dangerous fugitive. Police searched everywhere for 3 weeks, but she was nowhere to be found. Later that year, a newly married couple bought a house in northern Iowa. The house needed some repairs, but they were excited for their new life. However, they soon noticed a terrible smell that wouldn't go away. Desperate to find out what was causing it, they decided to check the chimney. What they discovered made them call the police right away. The mystery of Beyonce Hogg's disappearance was finally solved. If you enjoy our stories, don't forget to follow us for more. This guy is the definition of creepy. In the small town of Chuckleberry, Delaware in 1881, an old man named B.J. Worthy opened a strange museum. It was filled with creepy old objects, but the scariest thing about the place was B.J. himself. As time passed, fewer people visited the museum, and B.J. became desperate. He built secret doors and hidden tunnels to trap visitors in his basement. Over the years, more and more people in the town went missing, making everyone suspicious. In 1886, Detective Frank D. Tank went to the museum to investigate but never came back. The police, now certain something was wrong, raided the museum. After searching for hours, they found a hidden basement. Inside, they made a horrifying discovery: the remains of the missing townspeople. BJ was found hiding in a wooden box and was arrested. When asked why he did it, he simply said, "I just wanted some company." His words sent chills through everyone. A few weeks later, the museum was destroyed, and BJ was sent to prison, where he later died in 1889. The town of Chuckleberry was never the same again. If you saw this woman, you're in a great trouble. She is called Vidanya, the water woman. She lives in the hidden tunnels of Moscow, Russia. People say she tricks her victims by sounding like running water or crying for help. When they go into the tunnels to find her, they never come back. She is described as pale, slimy, and having glowing eyes. In 1973, a young woman named Alina decided to explore the tunnels alone. She thought the warnings were just silly stories. As she went deeper into the tunnels, the air felt wet, and she heard the sound of water dripping. Suddenly, she heard a soft, sad voice calling her name. Alina stopped. Her flashlight started to flicker. She saw a shadow ahead, tall, bent over, and dripping with water. Before she could run, the shadow came closer. Its glowing eyes stared at her, and its long, bony hands reached out. Alina tried to run, but slipped on the wet floor. The last thing she saw was Vidanya's glowing eyes. How would you rate this story? Share your rating in the comments. I promised them an adventure, but I delivered a nightmare. My friend Sarah recently lost her husband in a car accident. I thought it would be a great idea, an adventure to help Sarah heal after her loss. Anna was on board too. We went to Appalachian Mountains to explore a cave. At first, it was perfect. Just us three, exploring stunning underground passages. But then, the tunnel behind us collapsed. We were trapped. I had to confess no one knew we were here. Sarah was furious. Anna panicked. We pushed forward, searching for another way out. That's when we started hearing strange noises, clicking sounds echoing through the darkness. At first, we thought it was just the cave settling. Then, they appeared, pale, blind creatures that moved faster than anything I'd ever seen. Anna was the first to go. She ran when she saw them, but they were on her in seconds. Sarah and I were left, fighting to survive. She blamed me for everything. Being here, Anna's death, all of it. I couldn't argue. She was right. We found a passage that seemed to lead to the surface, but Sarah didn't trust me anymore. She left me behind to fend off the creatures. Now I'm alone in this nightmare, surrounded by those things. I wanted adventure, but I led us to our doom. Guys, I use Sarah and Anna name in this story. Comment your names, and I will use your name in upcoming stories. In a small, quiet village, surrounded by a dense forest, there lived a young woman named Lily. She was known for her kind heart and love for nature. One sunny morning, Lily decided to go into the forest to collect flowers. Hours passed, and Lily didn't return. Her family grew worried and called the villagers to search for her. The villagers searched the forest for days, but found no trace of Lily. Everyone feared something terrible had happened. A week later, a hiker passing through the area stumbled upon a dark cave deep in the forest. Inside, he found Lily sitting quietly. Her once bright eyes looked empty, and her face had an eerie smile. The hiker called out to her, but Lily didn't respond. Instead, she slowly turned her head and whispered words in a strange language. The air in the cave grew colder, and the hiker felt a terrifying presence around him. It was as if something evil had taken over Lily. Panicked, the hiker ran back to the village and told everyone what he saw. No one dared to go back to the cave. To this day, the villagers say Lily is still in the forest, under the control of a dark force. Guys, I use Lily name in this story. Comment your name, and I will use your name for upcoming stories. Scary story based on true events. In a small village in China, there was a legend about a woman who wore a red dress. People said she was a ghost who appeared on rainy nights, looking for someone to take with her to the afterlife. One night, a young girl named Li Mei was walking home from a friend's house. It was raining heavily, and she took a shortcut through an old, abandoned street. As she walked, she felt like someone was following her. She turned around, but saw nothing. She continued walking, but the feeling grew stronger. Suddenly, she heard footsteps behind her. Turning again, she saw a woman in a red dress, soaking wet, standing under a street lamp. The woman's face was pale and expressionless. Li Mei's heart pounded as she quickened her pace, but the woman in red seemed to glide closer without moving her feet. Li Mei ran, but no matter how fast she went, the woman in red was always right behind her. Finally, she reached her home, slamming the door shut. Panting and scared, she peeked through the window. The woman in red was standing outside, staring directly at her. Terrified, Li Mei's parents called a local priest who performed a ritual to protect their house. The next morning, the woman in red was gone, but a red handprint was left on their door. From that day on, Li Mei never walked alone at night, especially in the rain. The villagers still talk about the woman in red, warning others to stay indoors on rainy nights for fear of encountering the ghostly figure. True, scary story of Oiwa who died a painful death. In Japan, a long time ago, there was a woman named Oiwa. She was beautiful and kind, but her husband, Iman, was cruel. He wanted to marry a rich woman, so he poisoned Oiwa, making her sick and disfiguring her face. Oiwa died a painful death. After her death, strange things began to happen. Iman saw Oiwa's ghost everywhere. Her ghost had a twisted, angry face. She haunted him night and day, appearing in mirrors and shadows. No matter where he went, she followed. One night, Iman thought he was safe in his new wife's home. But as he looked in a mirror, he saw Oiwa's face instead of his own. Terrified, he smashed the mirror, but it was too late. Oiwa's ghost emerged from the shattered glass, screaming for revenge. Iman couldn't escape her. His new wife and her family started seeing Oiwa's ghost too. Fear drove them all mad. Eventually, Iman met a terrible end, haunted to death by Oiwa's relentless spirit. To this day, people say her ghost still wanders, seeking justice for her tragic death. True, scary story of Yuki, who died a painful death. In the Edo period, there was a rich and cruel samurai named Matsuyama who lived in a grand mansion. Matsuyama was known for being harsh and mean to his servants. One of the servants was a kind and beautiful young woman named Yuki. Matsuyama became obsessed with Yuki and wanted her to be his mistress. When she refused, he became very angry. He locked her in a dark, cold basement and left her there to starve. Yuki died a slow and painful death. Before she died, she cursed Matsuyama, saying her spirit would never rest until he paid for his cruelty. After Yuki's death, strange things